Hello, welcome to this lesson 1.1. In this lesson, we are going to look at the introduction to physics, and then we shall also look at the branches of physics, and then we shall look at the aims and objectives of being taught physics. Let us begin by looking at the introduction. Physics is a science. The word physics comes from a Greek word physis, which actually means nature. So this is the word physis. It's a Greek word physis, which means nature. And from that word physis, we get the word physics. Physics is a branch of natural science that deals with the study of matter and how it is related to energy. Natural science deals with the physical and the natural world. It deals with the physical and the natural world. Now, we need to talk about this matter and energy. Matter refers to anything which occupies space and has weight. Anything which occupies space and has weight is referred to as matter. While energy is the ability of the body to do work. In trying to study the universe, physicists in most cases endeavor to carry out experiments where quantities are measured and then collected as data. And such data and observations are then made and used to study any logical pattern that reveals any relationship between the data. Before the actual experimentation, prepositions can be made which are actually investigated by the experiment. And this is called a hypothesis. So, that analysis of the hypothesis is done. We analyze the data which has been collected, and then we draw conclusions. And from those conclusions, if they are true conclusions whereby the patterns are matching, in the patterns of the conclusions are matching, and they are not varying, they are consistent, then that hypothesis becomes a theory. That hypothesis becomes a theory. And later on, when this theory is proved to be consistent still, it then becomes a law. So in physics, we have what we call hypothesis, theory, and the law. Let's look at the different branches of physics. We have what we call mechanics. Mechanics, this branch deals majorly with motion under the influence of forces. With motion under the influence of forces. Then you also have what we call optics, another branch, optics. This branch takes keen look at the behavior of light in various media. Optics takes a keen look at the behavior of light in various media. Then we also have another branch, magnetism. Magnetism is a branch that deals with the study of magnets and magnetic fields and their intensive applications. Then you also have what you call electricity. This deals with the movement of charges from one point to another through a conductor. It deals with the movement of charges from one point to another through a conductor. Then also we have what we call thermodynamics. This branch looks at how heat, thermodynamics, this branch looks at how heat as a form of energy is transferred to or from other forms, or is transformed from one form to another, that is one form of energy, to another form of energy. It looks at how heat is transferred from one form of energy to another. And then we have what we call atomic physics. And this area of study is targeted at the behavior of particles in the nucleus and the accompanying energy changes. Then you have another branch called waves. This deals with the study of the propagation of energy through space. Let's also look at the aims and objectives of teaching physics. Let's begin by looking at the aims. To make a society, one of the aims is to make a society that knows about physics and enjoys the fruits of physics. For example, engineers, electricians, physics teachers, and etc. Then also to produce a large number of people capable of harnessing natural resources, e.g. the minerals. For example, we are seeing oil, gold. We need people to be taught physics in order to have that society which is able to get that. And then also to make a society that understands every phenomenon happening both naturally and artificially, and their scientific explanations. For example, earthquakes. To understand earthquakes, to understand eruptions, to understand different occurrences, we can understand that by teaching people physics. Then I'd also talked about this, to produce a large number of people capable of harnessing natural resources, e.g. minerals. Then also to produce an effective team of workers for the advancement of knowledge. Let's continue and look at the objectives of teaching physics. To make the students aware of the effects of scientific discoveries and and also gain knowledge on everyday life through the application of physics. And then to help the students understand the world of physics around us, and to enable students to develop an experimental attitude of the mind by performing experiments. and then also to prepare the students to pass examinations in physics to further their studies. Because as you pass the exams, the physics exams, you can further your studies and go into other fields, to different fields like engineering, medicine, and etc. And then to familiarize the students with the scientific hypotheses, theories, principles, and laws. So for you to understand the principles, the theories, the laws, you need to be taught physics. Let me leave you this activity. When you observe this diagram, look at these two pictures, well, and then you're going to use these two pictures to explain, you're going to use those two pictures to explain how physics is applied in each of the cases. You have this and that. Then you'll also look at this activity 1.2. In 2006, the government of Uganda made the teaching of sciences, including physics, compulsory in all secondary schools. Despite the opposition from the different stakeholders, the government took its stand because of the many benefits therein. So the questions here are, what do you understand by the term physics? Why is physics considered to be a science? Which other science discipline do you know? Why is it important to study physics? Discuss the different branches of physics and give at least one profession that applies each of the branches of physics discussed in part E above. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to look at measurements. So please subscribe to my channel to enjoy other lessons. Thank you.